up, everyone?
How you doing?
I'm Dan.
I'm Chris.
You're watching Movie Dudes, the show where we talk about movies.
All kinds of movies. You can think it, we talk about it.
Indeed. So, for this one, we're going to talk about a movie that came out recently. The
Purge.
The Purge.
Election year.
Or Purge 3, if you like.
Yeah, the third installment of the franchise that's been pretty successful.
Yes.
I remember seeing the first one in theaters and the second one, and this one followed them pretty well.
So the film follows a senator who basically was
running for president
because her family was killed in the first Purge, and she wants to see that the Purge ends.
Yeah, she's campaigning on ending the Purge, and there's a lot of controversy, and the status quo doesn't really want that because there's a way behind the Purge.
There's a certain financial benefit to those. That, they kind of point out...
Well, the whole film, I mean, the plot was, thinking about the Purge plot, it is really kind of goofy,
Yeah.
A Purge, in reality would be just so financially dooming.
Right. But anyway, so the story goes that, backstory, she is with
Frank Grillo,
also known in this movie as
Leo something,
or Special Agent Leo Barnes, because he went from being a cop to being a
no, he was a soldier.
No,
Special Forces.
No, I checked. He was a cop. He was like SWAT.
Really?
Yeah. So he was a cop. He's an ex-cop turned special agent, and his job is basically, he told her that the reason why he wants to join, basically see her become president, is because what he almost did in the second movie.
Yes, if you see the second one, his presence will make a lot more sense. But I didn't know that his character was a cop before.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay. And
so anyway, so the what happens is that there is, as you saw in the trailer, they were betrayed.
Yeah, they're basically on this Purge, the status quo, these like new founding fathers essentially make it on this Purge that everyone is no one is exempt
because
back in the previous Purges they were all public officials are exempt.
Most public officials, like
federal, I believe.
Yeah,
if you're in Congress or you're the president and probably the judicial.
Yeah, you basically
you're exempt. You have security.
I believe I'm pretty sure. They said class 10, which I'm guessing meant the things like governors were probably
whoever gave them a lot of money.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
So they basically say it's all off. It's all on the table. This is because she was claiming that it was only affecting the poor. That was kind of a stupid move they did because her bodyguard Leo, Frank Grillo, definitely caught on that. Oh, okay. This Purge in particular, they're happening. They're going to make everyone. It's a free for all. Okay, they're coming after her, so I'm going to, sort of anticipate that. I thought that was funny.
Yeah. So anyway, they have to run out, and like the other Purge, like the second one, there are a few other characters who have story arcs. You have the guy who I can't remember the actor's name, but he played Bubba in Forrest Gump. He
did play Bubba. That was Bubba, man.
Yeah, so he's a deli store owner that his insurance gets revoked the day before because he can't pay the insurance for.
Yeah, Bubba's plays a cool black dude he was played in Forrest Gump, the actor. That's right. I did not notice that till right now.
So he's a deli.
And Neelix.
Yeah,
from Star Trek Voyager is one of the staff people for the senator who betrayed her and ends up dying.
Yeah. So they end up running around the whole city. They meet up with Bubba.
That'd be cool if Tom.
I think his name.
That'd be cool if Tom Hanks was one of the founding fathers.
So anyway, so I think his name was Dixon. So Dixon and his clerk and someone who
his clerk's a Latino guy.
He's Mexican. So they said he's Mexican. So
he's Mexican national.
No,
he's a Mexican immigrant.
He's an American citizen now, a Mexican American, and one of the and a girl who he used to come to the store, who's now a EMT. They all team up and they basically try to protect her.
Yeah, they find the senator is kind of caught dry, and they pull their resources together to help her, and that's kind of the movie.
And then you run into a character from who actually been in all three. A character Dante Bishop, who was the stranger in the first one.
He was. I noticed the movie did not discuss that. So I definitely see the first movie and the second movie just before you watch this one. I think it would make a lot more sense.
Especially the second one.
You're right. He was the guy who was. He was really kind of a big catalyst in the first movie. Yeah, he was the guy who got into the home, asking for protection from the killers outside.
And he also in the second one was one of the guys taking out the rich party. He was one of the guys who was working for the anti.
I don't remember him.
They show him. He's in there.
Oh, was he in the second movie too, as one of the soldiers of that revolutionary group?
Yeah, he was like the second in command of the one guy.
Okay.
And then now he's like the one leading the charge.
Now he has his own group, though. This is the other group in the second movie was based out of L.A.
Yes,
this one's more based out of Washington D.C. He runs.
Yeah, so
interesting. He's this character. I don't think no one's ever pointed that out.
Well, I saw that on the wiki. They said he was in all three. I'm like, oh, see that makes.
No, they're right. That makes sense. But it's interesting. The movie they kind of let us. The creators let everyone kind of find that out.
Yeah, and so the movie basically, the thing in the trailers where they show her being captured by a preacher, and that's basically that guy was her political opponent, and basically he's like, I'm gonna.
The minister.
Yeah, and.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so what was your take on the movie overall?
I thought it was really good. It did a really good job at setting up a story, It did good character development. For instance, you think Dixon, Bubba's character. Is kind of the wise ass talking black guy, but you learn through first he's
a hardworking small business owner.
Well, you also learn through when he meets Senator, he says, "Oh, you're such a saint." He's like, "No, I'm not." And you basically learn later on he's a
former gang member.
He was a Crip,
but he got enough money, moved on from that, and opened up a nice business. And a couple of bitches were kind of on his case.
Yeah. The girls
and they got theirs.
They got ran over, and that was
overall my take on this movie. I thought the Purge plot, the Purge, the idea of this movie behind really this day where crime is legal for 12 hours, I thought was incredibly creative. That throughout horror movies, usually there's always been a main bad guy. You have Jason, you have Freddy, but the creators of this movie made the bad guy a day.
Yeah.
It's 12. It's the Purge. It's 12 hours.
It's the environment.
It's the 12 hours of anarchy, of anarchy, and it's in a society that accepts rampant sociopathic, psychopathic, murderous behavior on this day. Essentially, it's saying that.
Even part of this one they talked about is that this started spreading the world. Hence, they had murder tourists coming in.
That was funny because
the Russians.
Well, if you learn the second one, it was dying off with Americans partaking in it, and so that's why they bring in foreigners.
Yeah,
makes sense. But I thought, overall, the idea of a purge, if you think about it, if you get nerdy and a little autistic about it,
wouldn't last very long.
Well, it wouldn't be very financially beneficial to any of the real powerful. I mean, the stock market would crash double digits overnight. Within 12 hours, different companies would rip each other off, burn each other's real estate down. The amount of debt. Yeah, I mean, even the whole funny thing in the movie, how they're saying insurance companies would make
profiteer.
I will tell you right now, they would not make a nickel. The first people against this number one, they wouldn't insure anything because the amount. If someone, remember the movie, the guy they wanted to double his prices. Okay, the amount of damage they would have to cover on average that whole night, no one's premiums would make up for that. I mean, unless you're charging everybody ridiculous rates, which wouldn't even be possible. The amount of damage you'd be covering would way outdo the amount of cash flow, in my opinion.
Yeah. So
The movie's funny in that way. There was a character that kind of looked like Lurch from Addams Family, who was like their assistant to the weird founding fathers. It's just the other guy. He looked like a Lurch, a white Lurch.
Yeah. He basically was the minister's like assistant.
Yeah, and he looked like Lurch. He didn't say anything. He just kind of walked around and was sort of their bitch, like Lurch of the Addams Family.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to go for that.
That was kind of funny though.
But definitely, I really liked. There are strong protagonists in the movie. I don't know if what genre you really play. I mean, it's kind of a sci-fi horror thriller, and I was reading another article, and they said it's very. You can compare it a lot to like Escape from New York with John Carpenter, where they're kind of running through a dystopia. A really horrible environment, and there's a main hero that knows how to kick ass, and he has a whole bunch of people with him.
The only problem was they had clothes with the cars covered in the lights, but I'd rather have Isaac Hayes' car with the chandeliers on the outside.
That's the best. That is great. But they definitely had characters in this like that.
Yeah,
like kind of weird, murderous.
Like the girls who basically were like nuts.
Exactly. So if you like John Carpenter. Escape from New York. This kind of, I think, was based on that idea. Both movies very political too.
Yeah.
If you don't like politics, if you really refrain from movies with a high political tone, this movie might not be for you. I will shoot that out right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a very, and it's kind of funny they came out in the election year.
Yeah, with there's
a female and a male like running against each other, so it was actually almost very
a female and a male. They wouldn't be talking about Hillary Clinton, would they be?
No, because this one actually seems to be logical and actually not a corporate sellout.
Okay, and it's he's right about that. This one, but maybe she's what a lot of her supporters ideally think of her.
Yeah, anyway, so go see The Purge. It came out for us last Friday. We saw it on opening weekend. And, watch it. And hopefully you like it. And that's it.
I think you'll have generally a fun time, but just keep in mind if you're sort of refraining from movies with a really high, political message.
A lot of
you may not like it. There's some great killing. It's definitely a thriller. I like the movie. I think you would too, but remember to keep that in mind about the politics.
All right, so Purge, election year. Go see it.
Go see it, or maybe not.
All right, hey everyone. Thanks for watching.
I don't thank you.
Remember to leave a comment below and hit the like button. I'm Dan.
I'm Chris.
And we will see you later.